Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. Just a quick short-term update here. Ethereum still hasn't moved really. That was the expectation. Yeah, the expectation would be that we are very slow here on the weekend, that we don't see aggressive movements on the weekend, but that probably as we're heading into next week, we see the continuation of the downtrend. This is still in line with the overall expectation that ETH is in a C wave. And in this C wave, at least one more low should happen, maybe more. Yeah, I will decide on this tomorrow, depending on what happens now. But at least one more low into the low 14, let's say into the 1450 region. Yeah, sort of into the lower half of that box there, which moves all the way down to 1450. Essentially, the expectations would be that we could even break below it. We don't need to. I want to see how we react to that region down there around 1450. It just needs one more low to complete this structure, but there are different ways of how this can be counted. I'm not entirely happy with the micro count here, but I explain to you. In the short term, it doesn't make a difference because in the short term, what is really important is the following. First of all, we know that we are in a downtrend. We have been in a daily downtrend for a while now. We can see that with a high likelihood, a B wave topped here in October. And we can see that so far we only have 3 waves down. So this is some kind of a wave 4. Again, there are different ways of counting this. I decided to count it like this, but yeah, I need to look into it and there might be other ways of doing it, but it is certainly a 3rd wave. That would at least be my expectation. I shouldn't say it's certainly a 4th wave, sorry. No, it is my expectation that it's a 4th wave, which would result in another sell-off against resistance, which goes all the way up to 1609. So that means, in other words, I don't want this wave 4 to move beyond 1609, or I have to come up with a different wave count, okay? Which would be tricky in the current situation because it's following now the sell-off scenario so well. So I would like to see maybe in the coming days, maybe later day, that we start the pathway to the downside, break below last week's low, actually it's this week's low, which would be a move below 1520 and then towards 1450. And then we are going to be watching. I'm not suggesting at this stage that the next low is the last one, but as we get those flushes, yeah, we need to be ready for a bounce, especially after 5 waves down. We have to be ready for another bounce. I will try to work on the micro structure here today, tomorrow, to maybe figure out if there is another pathway. The thing is, this works out really well. The problem is, so from a wave count point of view, the internals, it works quite well. What doesn't work so well is the overall target expectation for this C wave compared to the larger time frame scenario. I don't really get a lot of confluence around 1450. It points rather towards the lower box, okay, which is between $1,200 and $1,300. But yeah, we'll see where that takes us. Certainly the trend is down still, the daily trend. Someone asked me for a bullish scenario. I mean, the most bullish one I could still come up with is that this B wave, yeah, which we have at the early October top, that it just resets higher and that we deal with a massive flat structure here, basically A wave, B wave, and then a C wave higher and then breakdown. Sincerely hope this doesn't happen. I sincerely hope this doesn't happen, but it can, of course. Okay, so be ready for it. In this range, we are still in that scenario where we have to be prepared for anything, but we don't need to be looking for anything unusual until the price breaks above 1609. So at the moment, these are the parameters for further continuation. So that means the TA is telling us that a break above 1609 would give us, probably that larger rally. At least it is one possible interpretation that could allow for a more bullish scenario, at least in the short term. But then these resistances will get relevant again. You can see that the B wave where we have it was only very, very short. It didn't even reach the 50% retracement level, so we have to be open towards another extension. That's just me telling you what you want to be prepared for in case the 1609 level breaks to the upside. That's my update about ETH. Yeah, I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.